Egyptian Embassy or the Egyptian Foreign Affairs. And also I'd like to say welcome to all our guests today. Yes, of course, I would like to thank you very much that you came here to 10th of Ramadan City. I would like to give you just some short notes about 10th of Ramadan City. As you know, 10th of Ramadan City is the biggest industrial zone in Egypt. We have already more than 4,000 manufacturing facilities or industries. That's why we actually representing more than 25 of our exports of Egypt. So 10th of Ramadan City, one of the most important industrial zones all over Egypt. Our location is toward the east direction of Cairo. It's 50 kilometers, and also 60 kilometers from Ismailia, and also 20 kilometers from El Sharqiya governorates, and 200 kilometers from Alexandria port. So this very important geographical locations put us in a very important location actually in 10th of Ramadan City. All types of industries is now manufactured here in 10th of Ramadan City, starting the heavy industry, the middle industry, and the small industries. That's why this is the importance of this city or town. The old of this city is more than 35 years, which had been already constructed by ex-President Muhammad Anwar Sadat. He had given the first decree to hold this very important industrial zone. I do believe that we have documentary films. We have a documentary films for no more than 10 minutes or 7 minutes, representing 10th of Ramadan City and also representing our activities in 10th of Ramadan City. Then before starting this film, I will give the talk for 2 minutes for my colleague, Mr. Hamdi Athman, just to say welcome to you, and it will be a great pleasure. Then we will hear from His Excellency, our Dean of the Ambassador African, of our Ambassador Excellencies, وطبعا سيادة السفيرة إذا حبيتي طبعا تقول الكلمة هيبقى شرف لينا. So now the speech with Mr. Hamdi Athman.
Myself in just a few months. That's the first time I've been out of Cairo. Really appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this nice words. Now the talk with His Excellency, Mrs. Mona Omar. It's nice to meet you here, and you are most delighted.
Thank you so much, and I will not add anything to all the great words that were said before me, but I would like to just mention as well the effort that was made by the Federation of Investors, Ambassador Ibrahim Khairat, who was a key player in arranging and organizing for this visit. For some of the African ambassadors here present, this is not the first time they visit the 10th of Ramadan. As you understood, it's about 4,000 factories?
Yes.
4,000 factories. So today, be sure that we'll visit 3,099. We will have, I think, 3.
More than 7 days.
7 days, not even 7 years. But I promise that if you are interested, I hope that you can be given a catalog about the factories available in this industrial city. And if you are interested on an individual basis even, or as a group, to visit some of the factories, because the purpose of this visit is really to make the connections between our both countries, either in trade or even in another replica of the factory itself in your country. So it's not only trade, but we are very interested in having common interest, maybe building the same factory in other countries. So please do concentrate. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. If you want to repeat the visit on your own after we finish this, there is no problem. You are very welcome. We are planning to have other visits, inshallah, to other industrial cities. But with the catalog that you are going to get, you will have the full picture. Again, you're very welcome. Again, thank you, Ambassador Ibrahim Khaira. Thank you for the association of the 10th of Ramadan, who are always very welcoming to the African brothers and sisters. And I leave you to the film so we don't take more time. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Also, I'd like to say most especially for His Excellency Ambassador Ibrahim Khairat, the General Manager of the Union Investor Associations, وأيضا بالأستاذ عادل يماني. أهلا وسهلا بحضرتك، متحدث إعلامي أيضا عن اتحاد المستثمرين. I'd like to apologize for not attendance of Dr. Muharram Hilal, the chairman of the trial, because of an extraordinary circumstances as facing him today. So he would like to tell you about it, apologize. So on behalf of Dr. Muharram, we would like to say again, you are most welcome. Now we are ready to see the documentary film about Ramadan City, discussing or telling us about the 10th Ramadan City, what about the power of this city all over Egypt, and also how far it represents the exports to the whole world, how many factories, what about the space, what about the population, about the activities in this city. All of this we shall see now on this documentary film. جاهزين يا شباب ولا؟ ممكن سمحنا لنا شوية. Now we shall sleep.
Down offers comprehensive business and social facilities, as well as attractive tax and governmental incentives, including tax exemption for a period of 10 years, or more if any extensions are proven. The grouping of these facilities into one integrated city illustrates the devotion of the Egyptian government towards luring potential global investors to the 10th of Ramadan, as well as providing them with a threshold for business opportunities throughout the Middle East. Compact and well-defined, the city was built according to modern planning techniques. It is now a self-sufficient, dynamic business organism. The 10th of Ramadan is spread over an area of 398 square kilometers. Approximately 30% is dedicated to industry. 1,500 companies, ranging from domestic to multinational, are already established there, yielding capital assets of more than 12 billion Egyptian pounds. Located 60 kilometers to the northeast of Cairo, the 10th of Ramadan is ideally situated, giving business access to the capital, the airport, which is only 50 kilometers away, and the two ports of Suez and Port Said at a distance of 115 and 180 kilometers respectively. The transportation of goods is therefore simple and swift by way of the Cairo ring road that spares one the city's congestion. The 10th of Ramadan is home to a multitude of industries with a diversified product range. Textiles, food, electrical appliances, wood production, industrial chemicals, brand name medicines are just to name a few, all of which meet with reigning international standards. Products are manufactured for local markets as well as international. Exhibitions are held annually at the World Trade Center and a multitude of well-recognized trade fairs and exhibitions around the world, in Hanover, Milan, London, New York, Moscow, and now extending to the Far East. Investing in the 10th of Ramadan is strongly backed by a democratic government that encourages free trade. Investors are granted 10 years of tax-free benefits and are exempt from sales tax for any product that is bought locally. All the major political parties and the general authority for the supervision of industries have offices in the 10th of Ramadan. with a strong dedication to obliterating any possible obstacles that the wary investor might encounter. Along with the financial benefits offered by the 10th of Ramadan, a comprehensive range of reliable services keep the industries running efficiently. Waterworks, sewage systems, and electrical power plants are vital components of the basic infrastructure. Coexisting with 14 banks and numerous currency exchange offices. Advanced communication services and over 50,000 telephone lines link the city of the 10th of Ramadan with every city in Egypt and around the world. The presence of the labor and transport offices in the 10th of Ramadan guarantees a steady supply of well-trained, highly skilled workers at the competitive rates expected of the Egyptian labor force. These offices are associated with a number of highly regarded training schools, such as the High Institute of Technology and the European Community Training Centers. The Mubarak Cole project for the promotion of creative education, along with several new schools, are sure to maintain and develop the standards of the city's workforce. Supporting the industries in the 10th of Ramadan are an adequate number of tastefully designed residential areas, with a sufficient number of educational, health, cultural, and security services. Surrounded by large areas of green belts and gardens, the residential area serves as a welcoming contrast to the concrete that embodies the industrial zone. Several public and private hospitals and over 25 medical clinics are strategically distributed all over the city to ensure the well-being of the workforce, in addition to fire brigades, police stations, and emergency services. A large number of shops and local suppliers offer everything from food and drink to clothing and business supplies. They cater fully to all aspects of business and domestic everyday life. For those who believe the old adage about all work and no play, a number of recreational and cultural distractions are available within the 10th of Ramadan.
More than 30 years had been constructed in 1986. Then second, we shall visit also the high food company, which is specified or specialized in production of different types of food products. And also we shall visit the company of the Oriental Weavers in the Sagoud al-Sharqiyya. Also, it's the biggest now Oriental weaver manufacturers, not only all over Egypt, but also all over the world, the whole world. This company number one now all over the world. Then I think this is the most important three factories. So we will still remaining another 3,900 manufacturing facilities. We can also prepare to visit them if you have enough time. So now, if you'd like, Your Excellencies, to ask any questions, we are ready to answer you. If you'd like to have any questions, Your Excellencies. So you are most welcome if you'd like to ask any question about the Ramadan city or the investment environment in Egypt. Well, okay. Thank you very much for your coming here today. It was a great pleasure. I'd like to talk some Arabic words for the press. أنا بشكر الصحافة اللي جت النهارده وبوجه لهم كل الشكر. طبعا الصحفيين، السادة الصحفيين المحترمين اللي جم معانا النهارده. دي زيارة مهمة جدا للغاية، إنها بتتناول التعامل مع الشأن الأفريقي والأشقاء الأفارقة المحترمين والسادة سفراءهم في العاشر من رمضان. هذه الزيارة زيارة هامة جدا للمدينة. المدينة الحقيقة يعني بتسعد دائما أبدا بتشريف السادة ممثلي الدول الأفريقية أشقائنا، لا سيما دول حوض وادي النيل. الزيارة النهارده هتشمل زي ما انتم سمعتوا طبعا زيارة الجمعية واديناهم فكرة عن الجمعية، ثم هتتمثل في زيارة 3 مصانع اللي احنا ذكرناهم الآن. فبرحب بالسادة الصحفيين أيضا ولو في اي حد من الساده الصحفيين عنده سؤال بسرعه سريع يحب يساله اهلا وسهلا بيه. اذا انتم خلاص اكتفيتوا هنكون لكم من الشاكرين، لكن احنا طبعا يعني تحت امركم. مين يفضل؟
لا
فاهلا وسهلا بيكم. اتفضل.
Well, it is good that the group of African ambassadors is invited to the 10th of Ramadan industrial zone. And once again, while we thank you, we need the catalogs.
Yes.
So that in the future, the ambassadors would make selective visits, one-on-one business interactions. I think that is very important. And in the African tradition, usually, we throw a vote of thanks after such a very important session. And because Angola is A in the alphabetic order, I will invite the ambassador of Angola to say a vote of thanks. This is an African tradition.
Very good, Mr. Kevin. First, before I'm inviting His Excellency to deliver his words, about the catalogs and the maker of Tanzania City, it will distributed in the bus. Okay, so I will preparing that orally. So be quite sure that the catalog will be at your hands in the bus. So Your Excellency, you can give us a few words. Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Before I say a few words as a vote of thanks, I would like to say to the engineers in front of us that definitely we will have questions to ask. Egypt being one of the most ancient African states helped the liberation of this continent. As we know, from its inception of the Republic of Egypt. And at the same time, these things that are happening here are not well known in Africa, where I come from. So there is a gap of communication between us. And that gap has to be resolved as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Because we see here that Egypt has gone so far away. And yet, we are still asking, where are we? So, I would like to thank you very much indeed for this opportunity, because it gives us an incentive for the common future that awaits us. The future has to be common. Whoever thinks differently is lying to himself. So, gentlemen of these 10th of Ramadan, we are deeply pleased to visit. We will definitely learn some few lessons, and we thank you very much for this opportunity. And we would like to associate our very good friend Mama Africa for this opportunity too, because she is also one of the architects of this visit. Thank you very much.
Well, Your Excellency, thank you very much for very nice words you will actually introduce to us. I cooperate with the African continent actually. So I do believe that this is the actual golden opportunity and golden era about this cooperation with the African continent. So as His Excellency said that, yes, of course, we would like to make what we call it matchmaking or B2B meeting with the African investors or African importers or exporters to deal with us here in Tensa from Ramadan City Investor Association. So we are most welcome. If I'd like to invite the business men also to came to Tensa from Ramadan City to do businesses in the form of B2B or matchmaking. So it will be great pleasure to hold this this type of cooperation or this type of meeting to have this this cooperation. So it will be a great pleasure, Your Excellency, Ms. Mona, if you'd like to arrange this meeting, B2B or matchmaking. Saad Safir Ibrahim, if you'd like to arrange this this meeting, it will be great. First, you have to tell us about the correspondence part in the African countries who would like to cooperate with us, even to export or to import, or even to manufacture. So we have also the great pleasure to have an investment in the African countries. I do believe that you are arranging something like this from the Investors Association or Investor Union, that you are preparing something like that to attract the Egyptian investors to invest in African countries. So it will be great pleasure to do this type of business, and we will be very happy to have this type of cooperation. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for your coming here today. I'd like also to express my great feelings that from this visit you will see different things from the past. Now the manufacturing facilities you will visit, you will be surprised from this how far the biggest of this industry now in terms of Marat. Again, I would like to thank you very much. We would like to thank
just before finishing, I have from the company Epico that we are going to visit now. They are asking us to be divided into two groups. The ambassadors and some of the press people, and the second group, the ambassador and some of the press people. And in a period of 15 minutes between the two groups, and they will be moving in different directions, in different directions. So how would you like to save time and also to put on the sterilized gowns and everything? So, how would you like to be divided? Comment on va diviser les ambassadeurs?
The pharmaceutical who are interested in the pharmaceutical field.
لا هو كل الناس هتروح.
اوكي من ثاني بس نصين.
خلاص كده زي ما احنا قاعدين.
زي ما حضرتك قاعد. So the right part of the table will be on Epico. And the other one also, but we can exchange to the group with each other.
وبرضه الإعلام نفس الحكاية.
ونفس الكلام في الإعلام.
الإعلام هنتقسم برضه مجموعتين لأن مش هنقدر على العدد الشركة.
عشان استقبال العدد يعني.
تاخد العدد كله مرة واحدة فهنقسمها على 2.